The McBee Dynasty. Family rises to the challenge amid major changes. During Season 2 of the McBee Dynasty, family patriarch Steve McBee Sr. took a step back from the Bravo series, prompting his four sons, Stephen Jr., Jesse, Cole, and Braden McBee, to take on bigger roles both on their Missouri farm and in front of the cameras. The show captured a dramatic turning point for the McBee family, with Stephen Jr. carrying the weight of a significant family issue throughout much of the season. While details were kept private early on, the emotional toll became more evident as the episodes unfolded. Only Stephen was initially aware of what was happening behind the scenes, a secret that added emotional weight to his role on the farm and in the family. He finally shared the truth with Jesse and Cole in the Season 2 finale, which aired in September 2025. "I'm obviously afraid," Cole admitted during a confessional. "This has been one of the toughest moments we've faced." Jesse echoed the emotional impact, saying, "It was a shock. We all started understanding why Stephen was under so much pressure." Despite the challenges, the McBee brothers pulled together. With Steve Sr. no longer in his usual leadership role, Stephen Jr. continued as CEO and head of their meat company. Jesse took over construction operations, and Cole stepped up to manage the farming side. Together, they kept the business running and the family grounded. In a July 2025 interview, Stephen shared how the family is coping. "We've leaned into family. We take it day by day. Our goal is just to move forward and get back to some normalcy." The show also highlighted moments of hope and joy. In December 2024, Cole and his girlfriend, Casey Adkisson, welcomed their daughter, Blair. "There's a lot going on, but when I hold Blair, everything else fades away," Cole said emotionally during the finale. Past family member Calla Jackson, who dated Stephen from 2021 to 2024, revealed during an August 2025 episode that she had been aware of some of the family's behind-the-scenes struggles. Though no longer involved with the family, she reflected that her knowledge came from being close to Stephen during a difficult period. Meanwhile, Steve's ex-wife Christy McBee remained mostly quiet about the situation. On the show, however, she did share concerns for her eldest son. "Stephen's just having a hard time staying positive right now," she said. "There's a lot of uncertainty, and we don't know what's next." Through it all, the McBee Dynasty, Real American Cowboys, continues to show the raw, real-life ups and downs of a modern family trying to hold together a legacy, one challenge at a time. The McBee Dynasty, Real American Cowboys is streaming now on Peacock. The McBee Dynasty, Fire in the Fields. The sun was just rising over the hills of Gallatin, Missouri, turning the rows of corn into ribbons of gold. For most, it was an ordinary morning, but for the McBee family, it was the dawn of a new era. Season 2 of the McBee Dynasty wasn't meant to be a reinvention, it became one. Not by design, but by necessity. The silence before the storm. Steve McBee Sr. had always been the engine that drove the family machine. Hard-headed, shrewd, and proud, he turned the family ranch into one of the most recognizable operations in the Midwest. But when he stepped away from the cameras and off the fields without explanation, it wasn't just the public who was left guessing. Only his eldest son, Stephen Jr., knew the truth. "He told me one night after dinner," Stephen later recalled during a confessional. "No cameras, no drama. Just a man looking at his son, trying to hold onto something without losing everything." That secret, heavy, unspoken, began to carve a canyon between the brothers. While Jesse handled construction, Cole managed the crops, and Braden, the youngest, floated somewhere between chaos and responsibility. Stephen Jr. was quietly unraveling. He wasn't just inheriting a business, he was inheriting a storm. Cracks in the foundation. Midway through the season, small shifts began to surface. The boys argued more often. Equipment went unfixed. Deadlines were missed. What the cameras didn't capture were the sleepless nights Steven spent reading contracts and legal documents in the dim light of his office, or the way his phone never stopped buzzing. Fans noticed a change in the dynamics. "I thought Steven was being cold," Jesse admitted during a later episode. "Turns out he was trying to protect us." In truth, Steven had been holding back news that could alter the family forever, but he knew the timing had to be right. He waited. Too long, some might say. The reveal. By the time the cameras rolled on the finale in September 2025, tensions were already frayed. Harvest was behind schedule. Cole was juggling a newborn, Jesse was burnt out, and Steven, still bearing the burden, decided it was time. The moment wasn't staged, it wasn't rehearsed. They were in the barn, late evening, the kind of dusky calm that always precedes a storm in Missouri. "I need to tell you both something," Steven began. His voice cracked, and for the first time all season, his armor fell away. Cole stared, Jess's jaw tightened. The truth poured out, not all of it, but enough. By the time Steven finished, no one spoke for a full minute. The only sound was the wind tapping against the old tin roof like an impatient question. "It was like the ground dropped beneath us," Jesse said later. "But then, we realized we're not falling, we're still standing. Together." Chapter 4: Shoulders of Giants. The McBee brothers didn't crumble. They recalibrated. Steven remained CEO of the family's meat company, refocusing operations with the precision of a man who had no other option but to succeed. Jesse doubled down on construction, streamlining their expansion projects and creating new infrastructure across the farm. Cole became a quiet force of nature, plowing, planting, harvesting, never once missing a day, even as he balanced fatherhood with girlfriend Casey and their newborn daughter Blair. "There's something about holding a baby that makes you understand what legacy really means," Cole told producers during a confessional. "All this," he gestured to the fields, "it's not just for us, it's for her." Braden, often seen as the wild card, matured in unexpected ways. He started managing the younger farmhands, took up accounting courses online, and even began training horses on the side, something his father had once dreamed of doing himself. "He's got more of Dad in him than we realized," Christy McBee, the boy's mother, quietly noted on camera. "Sometimes fire skips a generation and lands where you least expect." Chapter 5: Ghosts and Goodbyes. Off camera, whispers swirled, rumors about Steve Sr.'s absence. Online sleuths speculated, dissected footage, posted timelines. But within the family, there was only one truth. They were navigating uncertain waters, and Steve wasn't at the helm anymore. Steven's relationship with Kala, once a cornerstone of Season 1, had long since fractured. When she appeared briefly in an August 2025 episode, her presence was like a stone skipped across still water, beautiful, brief, and disruptive. "He told me things in confidence," she said, referring to Steven. "And I never planned to hurt anyone. But when you hold someone's secrets, they change you too." Her departure from the family wasn't explosive, just inevitable. Sometimes, love can't survive the weight of silence. Chapter 6: Sunrise over Stone Ridge. By the final moments of the Season 2 finale, the McBee Ranch looked the same as it always had: endless fields, hardworking hands. Missouri skies stretched out like promises yet to be kept. But everything had changed. In the closing scene, Steven stood alone by the fence line, his silhouette framed against the fire-orange sky. The voiceover rolled as he looked out across the land. "This place isn't perfect. We aren't perfect, but we're still here, and sometimes just showing up every day, doing the work, loving your people, that's enough to build a legacy. That's enough to start again." Epilogue: The New American Story. The McBee Dynasty. Real American cowboys became more than a show. It became a mirror reflecting the messy, honest, raw power of family. It showed that leadership isn't always about having answers. Sometimes it's about holding steady when the wind shifts. It showed that brothers can fight like enemies and still lock arms when it matters. It showed that love is complicated, legacy is heavy, and hope is not a guarantee, it's a decision. By the end of season 2, the McBee brothers weren't just running a business. They were writing the next chapter of their family's story, not with perfect choices, but with undeniable heart. What's next for the McBees? With Steve Sr. still away from the spotlight, fans are eager to know what season 3 will bring. Will Steven find balance between being a leader and being a brother? Will Jess build something beyond blueprints? Will Cole's new role as a father soften the edges of a once stubborn heart? And Brayden, wild, untamed Brayden, could he be the unexpected hero in a story that no one saw coming? One thing's certain, the McBees aren't done yet. They're just getting started. The McBee Dynasty, Real American Cowboys is streaming now on Peacock. New legends are born every season.